It's time, my friends, for another Devo tip on the book of Revelation, chapter 10. So what's this chapter all about? Well, in Revelation 10, John saw another mighty angel coming down from heaven, having a little scroll open in his hand. The fact that the little scroll had already been opened may indicate that it is the earth's title deed, the same scroll of Revelation 5. We see that a human being had to open the scroll, since the earth was given to humanity. And the only human being that is worthy, sinless, to claim the title deed is Jesus Christ, of course. And it was by his blood that Christ ransomed people to be fully human, fully functioning king priests on God's good earth. The mighty angel sets his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the land, and calls out with a loud voice, like a lion roaring. When he called out, the 7 thunders sounded. That's Revelation 10, verses 2 and 3. John is forbidden to record the revelation of the thunders, but no reason is given. Perhaps the unknown thunders are meant to humble us and steer us away from timelines and charts that claim to have the book of Revelation all figured out. When the mighty angel raises his hand to heaven, he makes an oath. There would be no more delay. The mystery of God would be fulfilled, just as he announced to his servants the prophets. The mystery of God here is likely the mystery that history, as we know it, will end, when, as Daniel put it, the shattering of the power of the holy people come to an end. Daniel 12, verse 7. And God's purposes are finally completed. But notice the movement of the scroll that's developing here. In Revelation 5, God holds the scroll, and the Lamb takes it and opens it. When we keep reading in Revelation 10, John is instructed to take that same scroll and eat it. By partaking, John is not assuming Christ's sovereignty over the earth. He is sharing in the reign of Christ, as do all believers. Christ reigns through us, through courageous proclamation and sacrificial acts of kindness. Eating the earth's title deed is bittersweet. We receive God's forgiveness and long for righteousness to prevail. We long for God to right all wrongs and bring an end to evil and suffering. Yet, the more we let that word sink into us, the more we realize how terrifying the final judgment will be for those who do not trust in Christ. I like how Greg Beale sums up our calling. He says, Christians are to reign ironically, as Christ did, by being imitators of the great cosmic model of the cross. The persecution and defeat of the witnessing church is the means leading to the resurrection of Christians and to their enemies' defeat. Yeah, the Lord's ways are higher than our ways, which means that his plan unfolds in unexpected ways from our limited perspective. It is not important that we grasp it all, but that we trust in him through it all. We receive the promised inheritance through the triumph of suffering love, which ironically lays the basis for the final judgment of those rejecting our testimony. And that is certainly bittersweet.